We are getting started. Let me share the link as usually with the good people of Discord. Okay, here's the link. We'll be writing the document in the stream, wrapping it up. Okay, guys. So that's the main to-do for today. That's to make sure that somebody comes to our repo and they know exactly what to do and how to contribute and how to play with the repo themselves, all of that together. Okay, so here's the current skeleton, and it's a work in progress. So let's add the links, let's refine all of the readme. So it's not going to be only about this readme, it's going to be about all of the other ones as well. So that might mean that we need a bit more time and maybe even the whole stream to make this really, really good documentation for people to come to the repo as new joiners and just know exactly what to do, depending on the desires they have. Okay. Let me open up the readme. Getting started. Let me remove the work in progress because by the end of the stream, we'll actually have this ready. So if you're a new joiner, this is for you. And you might want to stick around just to get some familiarity as we are going through this together. Okay, so there are again 5 different components to the open NLLB system, and thus 5 different areas where you could potentially contribute. Each of these contributions is equally important to us. Okay. Let me add some cool emojis here. Let's see which emojis make sense, guys. Which emojis can we put in? Maybe a rocket or just like, let's see, GitHub emojis. This is the quintessential part of building a good readme, okay, guys? It's very important we get this right. Language, speak, is there somebody speaking? Loudspeaker. What would be the best way to represent what we are doing? I don't see. Well, rocket is the evergreen. It's the evergreen symbol, guys. It's just, it works. Why change it? Okay, well, apparently I have to actually copy the emoji. Rocket will not work like this. Maybe like this. Okay, getting started with open NLLB. And there is a rocket. Nice. Already gives it a lot more legitimacy, right? Each of these contributions is equally important to us. Data collection / sourcing / verification. Maybe just put this as like data work. And we can make this like a table of content or something. Like, let me quickly see how one does that. I forgot. I have it for many of my other repos. Table of contents. So we can just link. If I open the README and just see the code. Okay, so for table of contents, well, it's basically just a set of links, so we can do that. Maybe this is gonna be a fun one to create a link for, because you have to do something like data. Okay, let's see. Will I have to do like this? I'm not sure whether we can ignore the, maybe like this. Maybe it will work, maybe it will not, I don't know. Let's see. Not sure. I'm gonna check that in a second. Data processing. Okay, data, lower cap, processing, and then there is the filtering. Filtering, data preparation, and model training. So the data processing and data preparation might be confusing to people because they sound the same. Prepare versus process. For processing, data set, maybe better to say formatting. Data set formatting. Okay. Then we filter, so we format, we filter, we prepare, and then we do the model training. Okay. We'll see whether these are broken or not. I mean the links. Each of these contributors is equally important to us. For some of these, you don't even need to set up the environment for the Python environment. Let's not confuse them with names that they didn't hear probably. Per second stops. Let's break them down and see the steps necessary to get started with each one of them. Okay. Let's see. The first one, no setup needed. Soft requirement, join the Discord. Okay, let's go there. Let me just find the link to our Discord server. Okay, looking good for easier communication. Why is this broken here? Okay, like this. For easier communication. Okay, let's see. Next up, what do we have here? We have the data collection part. Like this. We have the data sourcing part. And we have the data verification part. Okay, so data sourcing is what? There are 3 subtasks here. Those being data collection, okay, so if you wish to help with collecting a brand new parallel corpus, we're happy to support you. Please flag them to us either by creating a GitHub issue. Let me just see here, open up the Open NLLB. Let's go to the issues. Okay. New issue. Okay. Issue, or by flagging it in our Discord server in the Open NLLB channel. Okay, so that particular channel, let's just share the invites. Invite people, edit invite link, expire after never, no limit, generate a new link. Okay, copy. Okay. Looking good. We currently don't have any such efforts going on, but we might spawn new ones in the future. Okay, second, data sourcing. If you find an interesting data set for some of the languages that we support, and those are what? Let's find the languages. If we go here, train, config, model type, data set. No, it's not gonna be here. Where are these languages? They might be in the Stopes repo. So let me just open Stopes here on the side quickly just to find the languages. Module, let me move it here so you can see what I'm doing. Where is the data? Might be in the filtering part. Okay. Extended, I certainly know we have links txt. Here it is. Yes, yes. These are the ones that we support. All 200 of them. Or we can create, well, we might eventually create a new README just for supported languages, because this might be a bit confusing for people. Let me think. Do we want to do that right now? Because if a new joiner comes and sees this, they'll be like, what is this? They probably don't know the codes, they don't know the scripts. So I have to think from the perspective of somebody who is just joining this and doesn't have any context. So this is definitely confusing for people who are not into languages and programming or whatnot in this project in particular. So is there any README that exists already where they mention all of the languages? I know there are some READMEs I've seen before. Maybe even in Stopes. Like Laser or something. Blazor, no, that's not it. see. Languages. Okay. Where can we find this? Maybe under data sets. Let's go here quickly. Let's see what are these mentioned languages. For more details, see the link maybe here. Nope. Okay, they just linked this. Maybe Stopes. Okay. Let me think. How do we know there is 202 languages here? Okay, we can just put like this for now. Go back here. That we support. C Flores 202 for the name, the actual names of those languages. And then C Flores Flores 202. Actually, it's called Flores 200, like this. So we can just link that README, and then we can link the 200 languages here. So let me paste the link that we support. Okay, if you find an interesting data set for some of the languages that we support, see for the actual names of those languages, please flag them to us either by creating a GitHub issue or by flagging in our Discord server in the open NLLB channel again. Again, Discord server, let's just copy this again. Open NLLB channel. Okay, and finally, data verification. You can manually read through some of the public mine data that we have, and as a native speaker, flag any potential issues you encounter. We also keep track of some of these language-specific data tasks in that same document. Okay. Looking good. That's again, let's make it easy and clear for people to understand what are we talking about here. So let's first link, let's link the document here, the language champions document. Okay, Let's also just link the main project page. Note, also see the main project document here. Okay. Okay, guys. Looks good. We linked the document. Let's go back to the third part here. So you can manually read through some of the public/mine data that we have, and as a native speaker, flag any potential issues you encounter. Public and or mine data that we have collected, and as a native speaker, flag any potential issues you encounter. Okay, sorry. Emoji. Let's find flag symbol. Okay. Okay. We're keeping track of a list of our language champions here, meaning people who are natives across various languages that we support, and that we can reach out to if we have any doubts about the correctness of the data, either the content or the label. For example, Central Kurdish file might have been mislabeled as Northern Kurdish. Okay, let's continue. Okay, keeping track of a list of our language champions here. We're natives across various languages that we support, and we can reach out to. Let me try and refine this a bit. This doesn't look too good. Just a second. Is there like a magnifying glass emoji? Yes, there is. So we could do something like, oops. Let me just copy this. Data sourcing, data verification, and data collection. Maybe something like a bucket emoji might be a good visual metaphor. Okay, guys. Hello, Pablo. Welcome. We're just making a document for new joiners to go through and get started with the project. Soft requirement. Okay. Data sourcing, data verification. Mind might be mind and or minded automatically scraped and refined. Okay, that's a data verification. We're keeping track of our list of our language champions here. People who contribute across any of these sub areas will be clearly credited in our main README file. Okay. We're keeping track of a list of our, okay. Please sign up, and then we can have like the emoji, folded hands emoji. Once. Okay. How does this look like, guys? What do you think? Let's go through this last section. You can manually read through some of our public and or mined data and or mined, and then brackets just to explain what mined means, automatically scrape and refine data that we have collected, and as a native speaker, flag any potential issues you encounter. We are also keeping track of a list of our language champions here. Maybe we can remove language champions from the here, meaning people who are native speakers of various languages that we support, meaning people who are native speakers of various languages that we support, and that we can reach out to if we have any doubts about the correctness of the data. We also keep track of some of these tasks in the same people who contribute across any of the tasks will be clearly credited. Okay, so how can they check other than the tasks? So currently you can check those tasks in the document, sure, but how do they find the public and the mined data? For the public and the mined data, Let me see. It's getting hot in Belgrade. Let me just turn on my AC. Okay. They will have to find the actual data sets. You have to run the scripts and go through them. Okay. It's still not clear what we expect from them, I think. So we keep track of language champions. Okay, that's cool. We can sign up. And then tasks. Here is a list of prepared language specific data tab. Here's a list of prepared prepared language specific data tasks. In that you can find the list. Okay, you can find the list of prepared language specific data tasks in the champions document. If you want to take this one step further and directly go through the public/mind data that we have, please check out the next section, data formatting. Okay, because if you really want to help, then you have to go through the you have to download the data and play with it. Okay, this now looks much better. Let's go to section 2. Section 2. Let's go, guys. For section 2, we really need to add a requirements file. So we currently don't have one, which means people who run this script, let me see. Let me think. Yes, we want to link this readme as well. Copy relative path. Also check out this readme. Okay. For more information, you'll have to go there. Okay, let's go and see what we need to add here. So we have data utils, download, EV extended, line code mappings, modified dataset structure. That one is deprecated. Notes, readme. Okay. Find the instruction below. Let's see. We first have to also explain how to set up the environment for this. Will this be automatically set up? Let's see, we have to install Translate Toolkit, gsutil, and open. Is that mentioned in the install instructions? I don't think so. Let's just make sure that's the case. So if we go to the install instructions, does anybody mention stuff like gsutil? I don't think so. Or translate? I don't think so. Megatron, Fairscale, Fairsec, Stopes, pre-commit hooks. Okay, and then check out NLLB and then pip install here. Let's see the setup. So this setup file, requirement. Let me see. Translate. Okay. I'm just looking for, let me see, I made an issue on Fairsec before. Fairsec GitHub, let's go there. Let's just see the issues. I made the tutorial recently, a couple of weeks ago. Translate. Okay. So because of that, let's make that clear. So going to the README, data, README. Make sure you have a Python event. With packages from requirements.txt. And there we want to add what? We want to add all of these packages. Everything else should work. Translate all of this. Let's see whether I have anything else here. Nope, I don't. Is this how requirements file should be structured? Let me see whether they have it. No, it looks like we just need to. Okay, we just need to specify them line by line, so it's even easier. So just remove the, this is more for environment YAML file for Conda. Okay, so something like this. Okay, go back to README. Make sure I have a Python with the packages, with the packages from requirements.txt. Then run the download. Find the instructions below. This one is not required. So only if it's specified. What happens if we don't pass it? What happens if I don't pass for the download script. If I don't pass this, and if I run it, if I run the download script with the download primary data config, let's run this. None. Fair enough. If it exists, only then. And same here. If it exists, only then. Okay, so this now remains the same as what the README currently says. Okay, so run the script, find the instructions below. It will download all primary data plus NLLB seed, but will not download the 3 datasets mentioned below, which require logging in, etc., and prepare them so that they satisfy a common directory file structure. See the header of the script for more information. This can be step 1, this can be step 2. To download and format the data. Okay. If you want to analyze download, format, and analyze. Why am I writing in caps lock on? Would it help if I provide an environment YAML for Conda? Asks Alex. Do you think we need it, or can we just put, because with requirements you can also install it inside of Conda as well, right? So because of that, I think we're good. But thanks for the help there. Format and analyze the data. Aha, the reason you say is because of the Apex and CUDA dependencies. Okay, makes sense. Listen, if you can create some type of a script that will help us automate the installation without having to manually go through the installation README, if you can automate that, that would definitely be helpful. 100% would be helpful. I would love that contribution. If you wish to analyze the data, check out the analyze data script. Okay. Looking better. Not really steps to download, format, and analyze the data. And then I can say you can find more information down below. Okay, that looks better. Let's see whether we have anything else here. Analyze, download, okay. They don't care about this, they don't care about this. Notes on languages. Let me link that one and mention it. Copy the path. We'll actually copy the relative path. Okay, readme. Datasets available for download from our download parallel for a script here. Okay. Optional advanced. Okay, that looks much better. Now get back to the main README. Getting started. Okay. Okay. Setup. You'll need a Python environment with a couple of Python packages specified here. Specified in the requirements file here. Okay, and then we'll link the one from above. Where is it? Where is it? Copy relative path. Okay. File here. Check out this README for a quick start. Okay. Maybe should we add like and contributing? Maybe a bit too verbose. We'll see later. That's a minor detail. Okay. Looking better. It's here. If you don't play with the next, if you don't play with stages 3, 4, and 5, see below. These are all of the Python packages you'll need. Here there is no setup needed. Okay. Now, we have three types of data: primary bytext, mine bytext, and back translation data. Or back translated data. Is it called back translated or back translation? Back translated data, paper, back translation at scale, back translation. Back translation with a dash. Okay. There is a couple of areas of subtasks where you could help. And then goes the first one, primary bytext. And then we say you can help by adding new download functions to our file. Then there is the mined bytext. Our main script for downloading the mined data is this. It's still super rudimentary and could use some polishing. We are just using Hugging Face interface at the moment. And finally, obviously all of this will get obsolete very fast, so we'll have to make sure this document is always kept in sync. So any contribution, even a tutorial on how to get started, even a beginner friendly tutorial on how to get started would be super appreciated. Okay, Alex, I think this will also be useful to you guys. Like you now know where are the areas that we can contribute. Like there is a bunch of things you could do here to help. Okay, I think this is enough for now. I think we're good. Let's handle the last three sections, and that's pretty much it for this README. Although this might require a bit more work to explain how to set it up. It's not that easy. So let's see. Setup. First, install the Stokes project. Follow these install instructions to build the environment, to build the Python environment. To build the Python environment, you can also then use for OpenNLB. Okay. Just follow these install instructions to build. Let's maybe remove just from there. Okay, just follow these install instructions. To build the Python environment that you can also then reuse for OpenNLB. Check out this README for more information. And then we can make a TLDR. TLDR. Run the script. which downloads the necessary, which downloads our primary byte text and formats it. After you have this data, you run the filtering pipeline. It uses various heuristics like line length filtering, line length based filtering, and deduplicate and pairwise deduplication. To filter out lower quality byte text. With the filtered data ready, you can then proceed to the next stage, which is data preparation. Okay, let's see whether this makes sense and what I'm going to put in the README there versus here. Check out this README for more information. For more information, how to run filtering, on how to run the filtering stage. Okay. TLDR, the workflow is the following. Run the download parallel corpora script, which downloads our primary data and formats it. Run the filtering pipeline. It uses various heuristics like line length based filtering and pairwise duplication to filter out lower quality byte text. Okay, just trying to give people some understanding of how this fits into the bigger picture. So you run, you get the data, you format it. After you have the data, run the filtering pipeline. It uses various heuristics like line length based filtering and pairwise deduplication to filter out lower quality byte text. With the filter data ready, you can then proceed to the next stage, which is data preparation. Okay, I think this is good enough. How you can help here, let me think whether we need, I mean, if somebody's doing this, this is already a bit more advanced. Okay. Let's see. Follow these install instructions. Let's just copy the instructions. Okay. And check out the README. So let's now go to that README. Let's go and update the README. Before that, let's just commit what we have already. So what we added here is getting started is updated. And then examples README has been updated as well. And we've improved the Perl corpora script so that you don't have to pass in eval if you don't want to. Oops. Clear. Commit. Improve the getting started instructions. Okay, push to origin. Let's go. Okay. Looking good. Now let's just see whether there are any issues if we open it up. Getting started. Will this actually work? Of course it will not. Maybe some of these will. Looking good. Okay, I see Alex is contributing here. Nice. Nice. Yes, maybe let's discuss this offline once I'm done with the stream, but I think we'll need, yeah, there's a ton of those special instructions. I'm not sure, like once you test this, if you test this and you make sure this is equivalent to going through the install README, then it makes sense. Otherwise, we are just introducing in additional error surfaces. I think. Close down my. Okay. So, what else? Will this work? Yes. Will this work? Yes. Will this open up the exact channel? It will. Okay. This is bad. We forgot to add the link here, GitHub issue. Under data sourcing. Does nothing for now. Discord server, open NLLB, looking good. Language champion doc, looking good. Find the tasks here. Okay, for some reason these local links don't work. Everything else seems to have worked. Requirements. Oh. We forgot to add requirements. Okay. Okay. Here is the requirements file now. Check out this README for and more information is below. Okay. Looking good. Let me just check one thing. The analyze script, what does it require from the packages? If we open up the analyze data script, what do I assume you have here? I assume you have a bit more things here, right? If you want to run this, then you will need matplotlib as well. You'll need numpy as well. You'll need YAML as well. You'll need this one as well. So maybe we can add all of those to the requirements here and these three. That's for the analyze script. If you want to be able to run everything, that's what you'll need. And you also need the data sets, obviously. Okay. You'll need the data sets. Can one put a comment here? No. What do you guys think? Does this look okay? I'm not specifying versions, so I think if they later choose to install the whole thing, like using the install instructions, numpy will be will override it with some different version. So for now, let's just have it like this. At least it's a good first step. If people start complaining, we can improve stuff. I don't want to over-engineer all of this. Okay, thanks, man. Thank you. Let's, before committing that, let's just skim through the rest here. Install the Stopes repo, follow the install instructions. Okay. Check out this README for more information. Okay, this needs improvement. The filtering stage needs improvement. Okay, and that's where we stop. So there is no need to go further. Let me just quickly add getting started and requirements txt, YAML, all good there. Fix broken links. Add new packages to okay. Let's go. Let's continue, guys. So we were at getting started. So we got to filtering, and now we are delegating to this other README. So let's make sure that other README is readable and descriptive enough, because currently I don't think it is. Okay, going there. And then 2 more to go. As I said, this might take us this whole stream until 6:30 to make this look very good or better. Very good is a high standard. I'm going to remove all of this because we are either way changing all of this. Okay. So, example is everything we need, really. So what I had to change here is I had to... Should I link an example config? Would that make sense? This, I didn't change this. This remains the same, basically. I added included corpora and modified it. Should I check this in, guys? What do you think? Should I check in this example YAML? Obviously, you'll have to modify it before you go, and I don't know what to put other than... Will it work if we just run... If I put relative paths, that would be perfect. Let me see. Example filter is here. What's the path of this one? Under filtering config. Yeah, the issue is you have to create a... Where do you dump these? Let me think. In the hinter config. Okay, thanks, Alex. Let me think for a second. Just I think what I need to do here is just, if we dump all of the configs here, but these are just Hydra configs. I can't do this. I don't want to... Let me think for a second. Let me just clean this up a bit. Awesome, Sergey. Thanks for being here, man. Really appreciate it. We'll make that README very, very good in an hour and a half. Okay. So what's the issue? The issue is... Thanks, Asmonix. So the issue here is that when you're running these prepare scripts, the ones that they mentioned in the README, when you run the scripts popular data config, let's go there. Let me show you what I mean. If you go to this scripts popular data config, which is located where I'm always struggling to find these files. Under scripts. Am I blind or I can't? Or just stupid? Let's see. Okay, man, I'm just gonna search them like this. Exactly, much easier. Okay, scripts. So here are they. So here's a filter. So you can see what's the thing with the script. You have to pass in the, where do you save them to? Directory where the configuration files are stored. Data config directory. For me, that's set to some value. For me, that is set to filtering here, as you can see. It's set to this random location. So because of that, I can't really submit an example unless we store this to some existing directory here, which might make things a bit confusing. Just trying to think what's the best way to go about this. Output directory, input directory. I don't want to start mixing up Hydra configs with our custom configs. That's the thing, right? So maybe I can literally check in example configs under filter configs to make it a bit easier, if that makes sense. So what I mean by that is check in this directory. With examples here. If I do that, obviously it's gonna have these annoying files, but other way you're gonna override it as soon as you run it. What do you think, Alex? We basically submit this. I mean, it's ugly because it contains my maybe, or if I make it just maybe you could change the launch JSON to a Hydra config in the config folder. Not sure what you mean by that, because as I said, for filtering, if I change this to like Hydra config, then we'll be mixing up these custom configs I made with a Hydra config. That's why I don't want to put conf here. And then use Hydra configs Python file as a debugging entry point. Let me see. Filter. So you have to run these three scripts. That's for sure. You have to run them. We can set this to a default one. so you don't have to even pass it in. If I think that's the best thing we should do here. We should just set this to a default location, so you don't have to specify it. And I'm gonna check in that default with some example YAML configs. And then that's gonna be much easier. And then in the README, okay, I think that's the way to do it. So to run this, I'll create, so Alex, I'm gonna create filter configs because I don't wanna mix configs, which are Hydra configs, with these custom ones. The custom ones are basically the outputs of some of these. You see there, none of them are Hydra configs. That's why I want to specify this as an example. And then I can maybe put just a README inside of it, that these are just examples, just to clarify if that's not clear enough. I think that makes sense. It might be the easiest solution. So copy the path here. Copy the relative path. If we specify this, will this work? Required false. Let's just set a default value. Default value is this. Remove from required. Add a comma. And see whether this works or not. Okay. Parse arguments. Let's run this. See whether relative paths make sense. So if you're running from here, whoops, sorry. Wait, cancel. This can be just, okay, length factors. Will it complain? Maybe not. Actually, sorry. Length factors. Let's comment out this one. Okay. So there is also the Flores dataset here. You can see there's just a ton of minor details that you have to worry about. So I want to try and automate as much as possible here. Okay, rerun this. Rerun. Enter. Make a directory. Let's see whether this will complain. Again, I'm gonna rename this quickly to just 2, just to make sure this is okay. It's creating in the right location. That's cool. And then we go through here. You need a Flores path. To open up and specify all of this. Okay, we're just reading, and then at the end we are returning that and dumping that. Into the F out. Okay. Okay, so one part works. This part here works, which is cool. The part that's not cool is that you need the Flores path. So if people don't, so there is a couple ways we can do this. Again, the download scripts do contain Flores, but Flores there is prepared to a special structure so that we don't really have these dev we won't have this, we won't be able to find this dev directory. So it's better maybe to automatically handle it here and just download it automatically from this script. So you don't have to specify anything. You just run. You don't even need to specify Flores path. It's going to be downloaded automatically for you. So that's how I'm going to do this. I'm going to Flores path. You don't need to specify this here because it will be automatic, and we don't need it here. Maybe we don't even need this because we specified it as a default value, which is gonna hard code it. But anyhow, let's leave some flexibility inside. I'm gonna leave this as well, just specify default value. So I'm gonna specify a path here. And I'm gonna specify a path here. Default is gonna be Flores path. What's a reasonable path here? Maybe because this is used only here, we can literally specify the same under filtering, literally. What was it before? Before this, I was passing in location to the, okay. Like this. Length factors. Do this. We pass in the path. We go here. We have the Flores path. By the way, if you take a look at this file, did they modify it before? Did they add this Flores path myself? Let me just check one thing. So open NLLB. Stopes, pipelines, filtering, scripts, length factors. What was the, okay, Flores path as well. Well, that's my repo, so that was a stupid assumption. Let me just see the history here. History, did I modify anything? Yes, I did. Compute length factors. Okay, so I just changed a small bug that was in there, nothing else. They were using this instead of the BCP47 code. Okay. So this is the Flores path, and we go through it. Make sure it exists and download it. So we're going to just, if it doesn't exist, if it does not exist, then we create and we download the dataset. So that's what I was saying. I really want to make this much simpler than what I had to do. I had to go and find Flores link and then download Flores and then link it. There's just a ton of steps that can be much easier. So now let's go to the download script. Under fairsec. Go to download. Okay, find Flores. I'm not sure why I named it 202 when it's called Flores 200. I rebranded it. Okay, here is everything that we need to do. grab this, download, open, and write, and then extract, and then remove. This is it. Okay. Can somebody confirm? Like I'm still not 100% sure. Is requests default Python standard library, or we have to actually install some module? I don't think so. I think it's standard library. Okay. So where do we download this? Well, we download it to the Flores path. And then the corpus name, which is going to be just Flores 200. We write there, and then tar file, exactly. And then we extract all into the Flores path. And we remove the original one. So now we just call this here, the Flores path, and then all will work. So that means now we don't have to specify anything here. We can just use the no args config. We don't need thousands of these different configs. We can just comment out this one. Go back to the script. And run it. It's not a standard library. Huh. Interesting. How come? It does feel like it's a standard library. If that's the case, then we need to install requests as well in the parsec here. So we have to go and add requests as well here, right? Okay. So here we are. And let's run this with no configuration, no args config. One can just come here, run this, enter here, open this up, go here. If it does not exist, which it does not exist, we create a path here, we enter here, we download. Okay, we download there, here it is, we extract, here it is, remove, okay, and now here we have that. So under this path, this will not find it because we have just a duplicate. You can see here, we have doubling here for some reason. Let me just fix that quickly. And then it will work. Yeah, we're just using requests, the pure requests. Like this one. If you can see it on screen, requests. Extract all into Flores path. Well, then maybe Flores path should be just under filtering, like this. This should work. Delete. stop, rerun. This should be called Flores root path. And then the actual Flores path is this. Does this one exist? If it does not exist, in that case we go to download. And in download, we pass in this path. Okay. We download and we save to, actually want to save to parent. Why is it not? It should be a path lib, right? It's path. So we pass in the path up there. And then I mess it up here. How does one do it? Like this? Is this compatible with Windows? So it is. This is actually compatible with Windows as well. And then we can just do, instead of OS path exists, we can just do exactly. So if it does not exist, then we go there. We grab the parent and we download there. Okay, let's try this. Took a bit more time because I'm not familiar with pathlib. Okay, I messed up. Flores path root. Rerun. What? Flores root path. Okay. Let's go. Here is it. We extract into Flores 200. Now it exists. And now we remove the old one. Why do we still have, oh my god, why do we still have this? Once we extract, okay, this is just internal format or whatnot. Then we can just go here, Flores path, followed by Flores 200 dataset, followed by def, and then it will work. Okay, let's go. Rerun. Now we will not download anymore because it exists, and then we grab this and we iterate through all of the dev sets which we found. Awesome. And then let's just kick it off, and it saves it right there into length factors, and it looks the same, almost the same, no, exactly the same, 204. That's it. Okay, so now this is much easier. Done. Let's try and do the same thing for this one. Data config, let's just grab the same value. Data config. Data config will not be required anymore. We just hard code this. This is also default. We also have default here. Primary train paths. Okay, this is something you have to specify because this is the path to your raw data that you downloaded using the download script from the Versec repo, from the OpenNLLB repo. So you just have to specify one of them. Everything else is not required. This is required for now. Or maybe, okay, good enough. Let's not overthink it too much. Get the primary data sets, get the mine, get the, okay, this is the main one. When you pass in primary train, we don't have to specify this anymore. Just specify the primary train paths, and then you can run it. Let's run it. And see whether it will work. Run. Populate data config. Enter the main. Data path. Filtering filter configs, unfilter corpora. This one already exists, so nothing happens. If train, then there we save the train primary that we get by going here, hit F5. Okay, we grab all of the paths, we go through the paths, and this is now just expecting that you ran my download script there, and that's it. It worked. So everything just works if you pass in the right. Let's save this. F5, we are done. Everything just works if you pass in the right path. Okay. Let's just mention that in the README. For this script, ideally this should be false. And then what we need to do is just double check that any of these is set. So if args bt root is none, and this is none, and this is none, raise value error, you must specify at least one of these. That's what I really want to do. Okay, that's better. And if you specify this primary train paths, I want to change the name of this one. It should be called primary train root. And then let's go up there, primary train root, primary train paths. Let's just change this to root. Let's go there, dataset root, args are not used. Okay. And that's it. Okay guys, I think this cannot be more clear. Let's fix the last one, and then we're gonna fix the README, and then we can switch to section 4. As I said, this will always takes more time than you think. Okay, this one. Let's grab this path. From pathlib, import path. Is pathlib a standard library? I think this one is actually standard library. Okay. Input YAML. Okay. Train primary. Assert. Let's just quickly fix it a bit. Copy this. Let's copy paste it here. Import the arg parse. Exactly, go down there. That's all we need, really. And then main, like this. Okay. Builder configs. It's set down there. And then we just want to assert args exactly data config directory. Data config directory. If data config directory if this one, if it does not exist, then please run the populate data config by script first, right? Because that one will create this one. Otherwise, we open it up, we read from it, and then we just do this stuff, and then we save to that same location, which is train primary will be under unfiltered corpora. Okay, and then args equals parse args, looking good. Go here, see if it exists, and then up there we're gonna save this one as well. Save and save. Nice. Okay. Let's see whether this will run out of the box. Nothing needs to be specified really. Let's go. Enter. Sergey will reply to your question in a second. Just give me a second to double check if it exists. Oops, if it does not exist. Wait. First bug there. So if it does not exist, then we open it up, load it, go here, let it run. Let's just rename this for a second to something different, and then let's run, and then hopefully we get exactly we get 37 corpora here, 37, all is the same there, and also directions 279 279. Okay, delete this. Ready. Okay, so now in the README, let me just first address Sergey's question. I have a small question for README. In section 2, you linked to data to show required packages. Just a second. I might have made some mistake there. Did you pull the latest changes? Getting started, section 2. I linked to what? You linked to the examples NLLB data. Okay. To show required packages. That copy paste is real ugly, but yeah, for my personal projects, I've been doing a sh section with pip install for dependencies. So wondering about that. Why list the packages versus create? Because basically this is the common way to specify the packages for pip. For conda, there is a different file. Like, let me show you what Alex made here. For conda, you usually specify something like this. For pip, you just specify directly these names, and then you can come in with your package manager and install it by doing pip install -r, like requirements, and then just path the requirements file, and it installs it directly into your environment. But whereas sh is for Linux only, so if somebody was running this on Windows, they would have to basically extract the packages and stuff. Okay, I'm gonna check. I see Alex has been doing great work here. I'm gonna check that afterwards as well. Let me just not lose the context here. Let's go back here. Yeah, no worries, Sergey. We are learning here all from each other, so that's super useful. Okay. Before being able to run, by running okay. Yeah, no worries. It's easy to overfit to a particular operating system, and unless you've dealt with people who come from different backgrounds and are having different systems, and once they start complaining, you kind of learn some stuff. Okay. Okay, almost there, almost there. Filtering. Yeah, we don't need this as well, right? As I said, this should be hard-coded. Go to filter. This does not need to be passed in. Let me just see. Config data config. I'm just gonna slam something in there, a default value. Let me see. Filters, config example, data config directory. Where is this specified? Wait. Filter, config. I don't see this being specified anywhere. Okay, we'll check it out later. The filter pipeline applies various filters by text with optional support for monolingual text. Okay. And to run, you will need to create configuration files containing the list of corpora and the set of length parameters plus 2 more helper configs. This can be done by running scripts populate, length, and extract respectively. Please consult the help to learn more. Default settings will work for the 2 other scripts. A basic run using the default parameters, a basic filtering stage run using default parameters might look like this. Okay. Or if you're running in VS Code, something like this. Slope fruit. I'm gonna put it like this. Okay. Looking good. Now I think we don't need the data config directory anymore, right? That's what I'm trying to see where is that one specified exactly? Data config directory. Example. I don't see there. It must be specified somewhere, but it's confusing where. Okay, maybe this one. This is so complicated. This should be super simple. Let me know if you can guys hear me well still. I had some connection issue apparently. Should be better now. Okay, data config, filter groups, you pass in the config, which you get from example. Awesome, thanks, Sergey. There's some connection issue, minor connection issue. I'm on an optic fiber, so it seems the connection is mostly very stable for like 4 hours, and over the last days, no problem, so that's good. Okay. I can't figure out where this is specified. Data config, it just pops out in the config, but when I go and check out the actual config, it's not in there. Where do we specify this? Train primary, length filter, default. Aha. Where is the base config? Output directory, cluster local. Let us see, where is the where is the train primary? Where are these configs again? If I go to filter, we should be able to find them somewhere here. Filter config, and then okay, here it is. Here it is. And we specified in lawn JSON. Can I just hard code it to a default location so that we don't have to think about it? Output directory and data config directory are both specified here. It's just that this one, okay, we can leave this one because maybe people run filter.py from different locations and that messes it up or something. I don't know. Let's find the location of this. Is located here, filtering configs.py. Let's just find, let's exit from here, enter here. So filtering filter configs, filtering configs py. Okay, so this should be equal to whatever the location of this one is. Okay, find this one. Just a second. Path of the file resolve. This is much more elegant, just path. of the file. Let's import pathlib. From pathlib import path, and then path of the file. Go to the parent, and then just do this. Will this work, guys? Okay, hopefully it will. There is one way to find out. I mean, there is no reason why do we need this flexibility. People are just getting confused. Oh, where is my configs? We now always have them in the same location. Under filtering, filter configs, it's always there. That's it. I might find out that once we start running this on Slurm, maybe we had some issues, but I don't see that. I don't anticipate something like that. So let's go to launch JSON. Let me now remove this from filtering. And let's just run the filtering stage. Okay, and let's run this. Filtering, run. Base config. arg1 must be a class. What? Can we do it like this? Okay. So base config is subclass arg1 must be a class. What does that even mean? I have zero idea as to why I'm getting this error. That makes two of us. Okay, config store instance. Store this as the base config. Aha. Default. Mind back translated. Okay, probably we cannot just specify this like this, so we have to go and remove this. Okay. And then data config. Now guys, we can just specify it here directly. Fuck it. Just go config data config directory. Will be good enough. Okay, run this. Nice. That's all we need. And it can remain file because it's the same relative order. Okay. Cool. No need to specify the data config anymore anywhere. Okay, readme. Okay, just the output directory. Load JSON. Okay. Plus symbol should remain there. Okay. Nice. So once you run those 3 scripts, then you run the filter and it should work. This command will run using the output directory. And we'll additionally load the default example config from here. Okay, fair enough. Awesome. This should now be clear. We are done with filtering, I think, mostly. So you run those 3 scripts, you get the configs, and then you just run the filtering pipeline. I'll need to submit this filtering configs just as an example. Stream primary. If I can remove and make this relative path, then I will be super comfortable with just submitting this. Even like this, I think it's good enough, but let me just first see this. Toxicity filtering. If you want to use toxicity filtering, you'll have to download the toxicity 200 word list from here. Make things a bit easier, please download the above file to your FairSec root because we're downloading and doing initial dataset preparation there. Your open NLLB root. Project root directory. Okay, to unzip all the word lists, it assumes that you've downloaded the list to the parsecs root. Okay, we're not yet doing toxicity filtering, so this can remain a bit more like advanced. And train primary example. Okay. Now we need to submit the configs. Let me just quickly see whether we modified anything here. Requirements, we added requests file there. Requests package. I'm still unsure. Let me just do one thing. Conda read name, just temporary. Create just a temporary conda environment. Yes. Install that. Conda activate temporary Python import. Interesting. I always thought that's a part of standard library. That's how quintessential it is. Okay, so having said that, let's just add the updated version of requirements.txt, which now has also the requests added. Cool. And okay. Now let's submit some of these config directories. Oops. Will this work if I just put filtering, filter configs? Let's try. Let's try this. If this works, that's awesome. Because in that case, we can just submit this. Filter. Run. Okay, let's see config. Directions. And what was the other one? Directions and train primary included corpora. Train primary included corpora. Go to train primary included corpora. Okay, and I guess this will work because the work directory is this one under filtering. let's try and quickly load directions. Yeah, that one did not work because what? What's the OS get current working directory stops? Okay, so then if we just commit the relative path compared to the root, like this. Let's try that. I am making an assumption that people will be running this from this place, otherwise I'll have to modify things a bit. Do I need to add a first slash? Do I need to do this? Rerun. We can always grab the current the file path here and then join, but it's too much assumptions, man. I don't want to do this. I'm just gonna leave this like this, and then people will have to modify. I'll just make it clear in the examples in the README. Okay. I think this is good enough, guys. Took too much time already. Oops. So we specify the filtering configs. Anything else? I don't think so. Vocab sharding, prepare data readme. I'm not sure what we changed there. Let's see. Prepare data readme. Oops. Okay, we'll get there in any case. Let's just copy it for now. Populate data config. We need this. We need this as well. We need the compute length as well. We need the filter as well. We need the example as well. We need the filtering readme as well. And that's it. A lot of changes. Readmes, examples, filter pi, length, directions included, train primary. Okay, these are just a ton of configs, including the example. 3 scripts that we need: readme and filter. Okay. Looking good. Let me quickly do a diff tool here. We actually have to do with this one. Okay. Example, what did we change? We were explicit about this. Laser filter. Max source. So for DDoP filter, I just added this one, max source, and I was explicit about these two, lid and toxicity, and then added laser. Okay, not a big change there. I think that's good. And then local, okay, this is good. Let me see for the filtering, what did I add there? Okay, just we specified that one. The default config path is just specified without you having to specify it yourself. Then there is the readme here. What did we change there? Just a small addition there. Prepare data, YAML. We still didn't play with that, so we can just collapse all of that. We can collapse the launcher. We saw this. Directions is fine. Length vector is fine. Included corporate is fine. This is again with hard-coded paths to my paths, to my local paths. That sucks, but for now it's good enough. Filter. Readme there. We changed a ton of things there. And then populate data config and all this. Okay. Let's open up Fairsec again. And getting started. I think we're ready for stage 5 and 4. These ones shouldn't be that hard, but I think we'll need at least 1 more hour to wrap it up. Model training, yeah, I think this is for this stream, this is enough, guys. Let's stop it here before we transition to stage 4. And we can continue in the next stream. We'll also be doing, let me see, what else can we focus on? I think documentation today is kind of the focus, definitely. I think I managed to stop my filtering ROM, so I'll trigger that now in the background during the break. And yeah, we can make plan on the fly in the second stream, but this is the focus for now. Okay, guys, hopefully this was interesting, insightful. It's one of those things that you just have to do because people will struggle. Even me, like if I come here if I don't touch the code, and then after a couple of weeks or months like you do, which I'm not planning to do, I'm planning to be fairly active on this project every day, but your future self will be grateful as well, so if nothing else. Okay, guys, catch you in the next stream. Let me see whether anything happened here. No worries. Thank you. Bye, guys. Catch you in 2 hours. So 8:30. This is the big break. So 8:30 p.m. roughly 8:40 more likely CET. So that's Central European time. Cheers, guys. Bye bye.